Well, good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrated Preparedness. Well, if you need it, you'd better go get it. That's what I want to talk about this morning. Before I get into that, I need to give a couple of apologies. First off, the one that I made yesterday about terror cells possibly lighting up in the United States. Man, I was clearing my throat right and left. And I know that it's irritating. Trust me, it's irritating for me too, and I hate to do it. But like I explained, uh, I just got to make these when I have time to do it, and I'm making it now. Hopefully, I won't have that problem. But I had all sorts of people making comments, some very very mean ones. I'm never listening to you again. That's horrible. Yeah, I know. I don't care if they don't listen to me anymore. I care about you all. And for those of you who offered me, uh, you know, kind thoughts about, I think you have something seriously wrong with you. You better go see a doctor. No, I don't have anything seriously wrong with me. It's called early in the morning and allergies. And we are, the allergy season around here. I shouldn't really complain because it's a great place to live. But I think it goes from about March 15th to about November 1st. But there's always something floating around, and I'm clearing my throat. Kind of always been like that. But anyway, that's one thing, and so I apologize for that. I will try not to do it if I could possibly help it. The second thing is that um, whoa, there I went again. I'm going to try not to do that. See, sometimes I do it and I don't even realize it. It's just uh, for anybody who has tried to get a hold of me by email, I want to offer an apology. I don't have time to check my emails anymore. Uh, as most of you know, I'm hearing a dog collar somewhere. What's around here? As most of you know, this isn't my business. This isn't my main gig. I own several businesses, of course, I'm a writer, and I write books that, in addition to the Stone Mountain series, I'm writing other books that you all know nothing about. And excuse me, just a second. And I caught that one before I had to clear my throat and cough. And I own several businesses that you all know nothing about. And that's nothing against you all. It's just it doesn't have anything to do with preparedness and no reason to talk about it. But it keeps me very very busy. And then on top of three kids and all sorts of stuff, and I'm involved in a whole lot of organizations and activities and things like that. And as much as I keep up with the business emails. I have to do that. There are some people on here who have my personal email, and they get through to me. But or my phone number, they can text me, and that's great. But most of you don't, and I just don't have time. As much as I would love to be able to communicate with you by email, and I used to enjoy it when I was able to keep up with it. I'm not able to keep up with it anymore. So all I wanted to say was, if you sent me an email, in the last, I don't know, for quite a while, and I didn't get back to you, it's nothing personal. I am not ignoring you personally. Uh, talk to me in the comments here, and at least I'll see it, because I do read all the comments. That's another thing. Once I read all the comments and get back to the ones that I think that I should, and also and mainly do it on Patreon. Uh, that's it. I mean, my time is gone, and since this isn't my business, it's not. You know, there you go. So I didn't want anybody to feel badly and say, well, Steve, he's such a butt and he's ignoring me. He doesn't like me. Yeah, I do. I like you. I love all of you, and I wish I could, but I can't. Okay. Uh, Now, most of you are familiar with the upcoming potential dock workers strike, right? Longshoremen on strike for same old stuff, better pay, everything like that. I'm not taking a side on this. I'm not a union guy. It might surprise some of you to know that I was when the sheriff's department was thinking about unionizing way back when I was still on it. They elected me as their representative to uh, the labor council, And while we were considering, and we were considering going with the Teamsters at that time, a lot of, and probably still, a lot of police departments, fire departments were unionized, and the ones who were got a lot better pay, to be honest, than those of us who weren't. So that was, we were considering that. And although I'm not usually a political person, and I wasn't really involved in that for some reason, all the guys in the department made me the representative to the labor council. Well, I went down for a couple of meetings, and I made clear that we didn't believe in public service striking. I don't believe in fire or police. We went through a fire strike here in Kansas City, and that was no bueno, and I don't believe in it. If you, I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, but if you take a job that has to do with public service, you need to be there. That's it. And I don't believe in striking police, fire, teachers, ambulance, anything like that. Because if you're government paid, I don't believe in government units. So if anybody out there disagrees with me, we can still be friends, okay? But I'm said in no uncertain terms, we will not strike. We will not have slowdowns. We will not have speed ups. We will not, nothing like that. We signed on to do a job. We're going to do it. And they were all, oh yeah, we would never expect you all to do that. Well, I tell you, by the second month I was down there, they were talking, with winks and nods about, we could do a slowdown, we could do a walkout, we could do a sick end, we could do the blue flu and all that. And I said, BS, I'm out of here. I have quit so many things in my life when I found out that, the hypocrisy and the corruption beneath the surface, because it's just, I can't handle it. I hate it. Let me take a sip and we will talk about it. So anyway, longshoremen, dock workers, they're thinking about walking off the job and going on picket line at 12:01 Tuesday morning, which means a minute after midnight Monday night. And that could have a real effect. It could have a devastating effect, to be honest, on the economy. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know. These unions play hardball, and so do the companies. And, nobody wants, it's a game of chicken. Nobody wants to give up first. And so usually, let's say this, I don't know if usually, very often a deal is going to get struck at 5 minutes till midnight. And everything's going to be okay. They're going to get most of what they wanted and not, whatever. And they'll give up enough to make the company feel that, the company won a little bit too. But it doesn't always happen that way, and it could shut down. Now, what's the effect going to be? Well, if you remember back when the container ships were stacked up outside of Long Beach and L.A. and Seattle and all those, and nothing was coming in, and all the shortages on the shelves, and it wasn't just blue jeans, it was, your food, because so much of our food comes from overseas. So much of our, most of our electronics, a lot, if not most of our medications. Think about I don't know if toilet paper comes from China. I've never checked my toilet paper packages, but, many of the things that we rely on a daily basis come from overseas. And that means they come on a container ship and they come through a port and then they get stuck on a truck and they get brought to you. Well, if they walk out for even a short period of time, that's going to start causing a log jam. In most of the places around, that that the grocery stores only have a day and a half, 2 days at max of food in their stores, and then of course they get it from large regional warehouses, but they're going to run dry pretty soon. If you remember the shortages back when we had shortages, that could be coming again. Now that's just one thing that you ought to be prepared for. So like I say, if you need it, get it now. I don't know if you need to get it today or not. Wouldn't be a bad idea, right? It usually takes a few days for these slowdowns to affect us downstream here, but it's the panic buying that can wipe it out too. I mean, I think more people are aware of the possibility and the effects of supply chain interruptions now than were back before COVID. And now that more people are kind of tuned up, if they see there's going to be problems, I think you're going to have a lot more people. The lines at the grocery store are going to be longer, and the carts are going to be more full, and the stores are going to be sparse sooner. So if you need something, get out there and get it. If you want something, get out there and get it. Now, the effect on the economy overall could also be devastating, and it depends. Devastation depends on how long it goes. This isn't one of those things that, and I know it is one of those things that people can use to really stir up stuff, but here on this channel, if you are familiar with us, I tend not to try to do that. I say, here's the situation, here's what you need to do to be prepared, and do it so that you're not all wound up around the axle when everybody else is. The effect that it could have on the economy, of course, is going to be increased prices, not as a result of inflation, and people get this mixed up, but as a result of shortages. Okay, and if you want me to throw in a little economics lesson in here, by the way, I put one up on the Patreon channel last night when Kelly and I were driving back from Lincoln, Nebraska, about how to make more money for your preparations. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on YouTube here or not. When I put those kinds of things on YouTube, I just get a lot of silly comments, and people really won't take my advice because I'm not, telling them to buy ammo or how to build a fire. But it is vitally important. There are very few things other than, like I say, the good Lord himself and your hard work and knowledge and skills that are more important to your being able to prepare than money. And if you need to make more money, there's plenty of ways to do it. Anyway, I put that on the Patreon channel. If you're not with us on the Patreon channel, come on over. The link's down below, and I'll tell you all about it. I like I said, I doubt that I'm going to put that one on YouTube. I put a lot of stuff on Patreon I don't put on YouTube. But to start with my little economics lesson here, inflation. People think that when prices go up, that's inflation. No, inflation is too much money in the money supply, an increase of the money supply, which depresses the value of the currency or the medium of exchange, therefore inflating the amount of the money supply, therefore depressing its value per unit, right? What we could see here is not necessarily an increase in inflation, although I think we could see that coming now. Also, as the Fed threatens to lower interest rates another 0.5% because they see the economy, they see the problems in the economy that they haven't admitted for a long time. And since we're in a political season, the other side, the Democrats, are all talking about how wonderful the economy is under Bidenomics. And of course, you know better than that. But it's going to be a big mess. But the shortage of items is going to be what results in the raising of prices. And this comes down to supply and demand. Simple as that. Okay, it's not really. It's nothing secret about it. It's not really anything, difficult to understand. So the thing is, just we'll watch this. We'll see what happens. In this next month, so many things could happen that are going to be difficult to foresee. But the thing is that if you are a preparedness-minded person, a PMP, as I say here, you're prepared. That's the great thing about preparedness, in that your life, your daily life, should not go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down according to the latest threats and fears of the day, like a lot of people do. And I'll say this, even a lot of people in the prepper world, who are just constantly bouncing all over the place because of the latest, the fear of the day. Don't be like that. You're preparedness should be a lifestyle. It should be a way of life. It should be something that gives you comfort, not fear and not anxiety. Okay, so that's it. I have a million things to do today, and I'd better get at them. So just want to let you know about that. Thank you for your concern about my throat. I'm fine. It was just allergies and early in the morning. And again, apologies if I can't get back to your emails. I just don't even check them anymore. It's not something that I can do with all the other things that I have going on. Although I love talking to you all here, and I love reading your comments and occasionally being able to get back with somebody there. So that's about, my plate is full. So there you have it. If you need it, get out there and get it. We'll see what happens with this dock worker strike. May not happen, in which case you'll never be sorry that you prepared a little bit, but it might happen, in which case you'll be sorry if you did, right? Okay, well, as we always say, and on the back of my Stonemont Integrated Preparedness First Annual Summer Gathering mug, we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. So get out there so that you can live well tomorrow, okay? Y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.